That's with my wife, Jordan. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. Well, you will see me on the news. Let me just tell you that right now. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. You better walk by and say, praise the Lord. That's what you better do. Because that's my wife. And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her. Now, if this was out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up. But you a hypocrite. So don't you forget the Bible say marriage is honorable. And the Bible said when you find a wife, honey, you find favor with God, honey. I found some favor with God. And we sleeping good at night. Ain't nobody up all night worrying about all these crooks.
Bishop Dwight Reed. It doesn't look like he's done anything or been. What is he accused of, if anything?
I don't think they're accusing him. Well, I just read something where
what you just read was straight slander.
Was right. It was slander, but he hasn't actually. I don't think it's not enough proof to really. I don't think it's enough proof there to get any type of legal action with either rumor or whatever, even from his past or whatever. I don't think there's any proof there. But as far as when I heard this story...
Yeah, what did you think about the story?
Man, when I heard this story...
what is the story?
The story of Dwight Reed marrying a 19-year-old girl. There's a 43-year gap.
It's a 43-year difference between
19 and him, his 63. Yeah, it's a big difference. He's 63 and she's 19 years old and he's a pastor. When I first heard this story, I think like anybody else, it hit my flesh first. It was like, why is, all type of thoughts went in my head. Why is he, what type of spirits is running around from the head down? If the pastor marrying somebody 19 years old, is there, I don't know, all type of stuff went in. But then as I pondered and did more research, I had to look at it from different perspectives as far as not wanting, I think I told you this earlier, not wanting to entertain the slander that backfire on the church body. Because, a lot of the people who are not into church or on the outside or sinners, or whatever you want to call them, they, it's always the church that's going to be tagged at the end with this type of stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? It's always, that's why I don't go to church now. Or they all hypocrite. It's always something from that. So I was like, I don't want to feed into that. So from looking at it from that perspective, I started looking at, okay, well, what's her background? How do we not, do we know anything regarding her? Which we don't, because I tried to find it. But we have to consider that, right?
Right, definitely. I feel like, of course, this is a very sensitive subject. So, my first thoughts were definitely fleshly as well, like you said. But I did consult with my bishop. And with our bishop, and I have to talk that which I know and testify of that which I've seen. And all I know is this is a legal marriage. And it's America.
And see, so that when I say you don't know her background, I'm thinking about like, we don't know how mature she is for her age.
They say it was a teacher. Was he a teacher or a director?
But it says special guidance. So, and at first, and again, it hit my flesh from special. What he got going on? He shouldn't have been counseling this child, doing any type of guidance, But then when I think about it, and I think about, just just people and humans. You got young girls, let's just be real, we got young girls that's out here in the streets at 13 years old, already grown, selling their body, doing drugs, I'm not saying this is what the case with her, but I had to think about that and how fast life take them and how those experiences might make you grow up. I don't know this young lady's situation, but when I hear special guidance, it could have been something of that nature where she needed to talk about something that she might have had going on. Maybe she's at the school and she ain't got no roof over. I don't know what the situation may be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's almost like that, to each their own type of thing. But I had to consider that. So no, on the you're absolutely right.
So you speculated like everybody else, which is the reason that it kind of blew up and made itself to a mainstream story.
But when you do the speculation, you have to look at it. Well, for me, I looked at it from all the way across the board. I looked at it like you said, it's legal. This is legal. This girl is grown. What if she was 30 and he was 70? You know what I'm saying? What if, will we look at it the same? Would it be the same thing? And then, I had to think about, let me see how much older is Ron and his wife. Ron Isley is 35 years older than his wife. We don't look at it like that because Ron look great for his age. He don't look older. His wife is grown. You see what I'm saying? They got a whole child. So it's like I had to look at all of that, and I did not, and I wanted to be careful not to, because anytime you come to a man of God, I want to be careful what we say. We don't want to feed. And then I also looked at, I always tell you, my grandmama say that the devices now are of the devil. So we got the prince of the air devices that we're looking at, and it shows us what it wants us to see. So we don't really know the truth behind it, but I will say this. Now on the surface, just looking at it, no, it's legal, it's grown. Let's not be so quick to throw stones. Let's not be so quick to judge or no. These people grown. But if you want to know my personal opinion, do you want to know my personal opinion?
We definitely want to hear your personal opinion. We're here for the personal opinion. What is your personal opinion on Bishop? What's the bishop's name?
Dwight Reed.
Bishop Dwight Reed in a marital situation, legal marital situation with a younger lady.
My personal opinion. I'm not here for it. Because I have to look at it, I'm 40. And we're talking about a 19-year-old. So I have a grandchild at 40. My son is finna be 21. We said this man is 43 years older than this child. So in my case, personally, if my son came home with a girl that he's 43 years older than, that means she's younger than your children. I wouldn't, boy, get out here with this foolishness. I mean, I'm just being, that's my part. That would take a lot of praying and guidance to God for me to be able to accept, as an older woman, my son coming in with a girl that he's that many years older than, and I'm looking at her and I know at 19 how much more growing you got to do, how much you got to experience, how impressible you are, how, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it would be hard. And then on another personal level, I mean, my prayers go out to this girl, because you talking about a pastor, right? So he's a pastor, and again, this is personal, my personal opinion. I'm the type of woman where, when we go to church, or older women that I see that's in leadership or just in life, that walks of life that I cross paths with, I try to find someone I would be admiring. Ooh, I like the way she dressed. Ooh, I like how she do handle business like this. I like how she care. I take something. I can see me now at a church, and I'm just admiring the first, like, ooh, I had cute, or this and that. And then I get to this, I know me. I would have probably asked you, baby, who daughter? Why she over there with the first ladies? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that would shake up the church. My prayers go to them. That's a lot. That's a big role. And and we're gonna talk biblical. Marriage is honorable in the sight of God. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here. I don't know. I don't have much to say on it from that, because I do want to make sure I don't again, feed into the negativity of church people, or how people already view the church, and it is legal. No hard evidence that came to where he done anything wrong. But personally, no, I'm not here for it. I don't agree with it. I'm side-eyeing you. I
definitely don't want the church to be looked upon in a bad light because of something. This is an isolated situation, and basically an anomaly, or it's honestly a normal thing. It happens every day. 63-year-old billionaire, I think it was like a 70-year-old billionaire talking to Kamora Lee Simmons' child. You remember what I'm talking about? So it's normal, but now that it's associated with someone in authority of being a bishop, it does look weird. But we know nothing, and it's totally legal. What I will say on a personal level, which is completely contrary to the word of God. So it's not biblical. Where were the parents at? Are the parents co-signing this? My second biggest question, which probably should be the biggest question, is: was grooming involved? Because you to grow a relationship with someone, it takes time, But or it doesn't have to take time at all.
Was grooming involved? Whether grooming was before, while they were talking, grooming's definitely getting done between a 19-year-old and a 63-year-old.
It doesn't matter if I'm married now. I'm not grooming my wife. It's my wife. Of course, I'm trying to, make sure my wife is,
Grooming is definitely getting done. And it probably started before, but it's that speculation. I do not know. All I know is that I did read an article that said that he was giving special guidance to Jordan, who is now his 19-year-old wife. This was back when she was like 15 or 16.
All that is we're going outside of the grace of God now. Okay. So we want to keep some grace because of who we are talking about. So now but
it is legal, and for this situation, if we want to stay in grace, and I do want to stay, pleasing in the eyesight of the Lord, and I try not to slander or again feed into all the negativity. For this situation, it's to each their own. You just lift them up in prayer, because that is a lot. From whichever way you look at it, whether you look at it in the roles, having to lead a church, being in leadership, or just, the outside looking in, it's a lot. And you just want to lift them up in prayer, because you don't want to always feed into the devices of the enemy. And we don't know the details of their story. Again, we don't know if the parents were ever involved. We don't know what was going on with this girl, you know what I'm saying, or him, that attracted him to that. Personally, yes, I would have had to ask those questions to my son. So how are y'all equally yoked, son? Why do you feel like y'all are? What attracted you to this child? Those are the type, personally, if it was